Hello there and welcome back, my flock. The Badraven is here today. And today we're going to do a spoiler-free review of Xmen Dark Phoenix. Me and Drew Drop wanted to go watch this movie. I wasn't, dying to see it, which I did like the last one, Apocalypse. A lot of people didn't. I liked it. Drew Drop liked it. We decided we wanted to go out and see this on Thursday at the opening of it, special opening day of it. And I was very disappointed because, and this is nothing to do with the movie, but this is just the crowd. There was maybe 30 people there. I just told Drew Drop that was a bad sign to see just that many people to a special Thursday showing of it. I know it's during the week, but school's out over here, and it should have done better, I would think, if it was a growing franchise. But as you know, Disney has bought out the 20th Century Fox, which made this movie. This was having a hard time anyway of getting out, because it was supposed to be released in November of 2018. Got pushed back a couple times to now, to June 7th. So I knew something was up. It's going to be like the last one by 20th Century Fox, and we've already heard that Kevin Feige is going to be retooling it, probably recasting it, as far as I know, or unless they do like something with the multiverse and bring these people in, which I don't see that happening. I think they'll start fresh since they got to have a new Wolverine for Hugh Jackman anyway. So I think they'll do the whole cast, redo them younger. That way they can make multiple movies with them. Not that the cast of this wasn't pretty young as it is, and I did like several of them already, but that's how Hollywood is. It goes on to the fresh new group anyway. It's directed by Simon Kinberg, and this was his first directorial debut. He has directed a lot of smaller stuff, but this is the first time he's ever been involved with this type of multi-blockbuster movie. We're talking $200 million movie, and they gave it to this guy, I guess because he had flair for this type of stuff. He might have just been a writer before. I'm not for sure. But just check in on that. Leave it in the comment what his first jobs were. But anyway, he directed it, and you have in it James McAvoy returns as Charles Xavier, Professor X. Michael Fassbender is back, of course, as Magneto, and we always like Michael. Then you got Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. Nicholas Hoult as the Beast, Sophie Turner as Jean Grey, and the list goes on and on. We got Jessica Chastain in this too. She's also going to be in the It Chapter 2 movie. She plays, I don't think I'm giving things too much away by the trailer, she's one of the bad guys in this movie. Anyway, I just wanted to say, I felt like, I've heard that this movie was in a bad way when they were making it. I heard that a lot of problems happened. The story wasn't quite right. Got some test audiences that didn't like it. It was in disarray from the very beginning. They had to do massive reshoots, I've heard. So I kind of felt that, especially in the first part. Well, through the entire movie, but they just felt like it was kind of not clicking on all cylinders. And I know this is a Marvel movie, but it's not made by Kevin Feige. It has a very tonal problem here, I think. It's completely, after the very first few minutes, it goes into a very dark, not Superman dark, of the past here. I'm talking about Superman, Batman vs. Superman, stuff like that. But it just was very depressing. Which, every movie doesn't have to be sunshines and rainbows. Look at Avengers Endgame. There's a lot of people died in that movie. Still, had a very good feeling at the end of it, after having, a good time with the characters. But this one, they felt like they took the characters and kind of mixed them up a little bit. Professor Xavier, for one, I felt like they misused him in this one. Made him the, the scapegoat for a lot of problems with the Xmen. And that's another thing I noticed with this. They said they promoted the movie Dark Phoenix because they didn't really put the Xmen logo on it, and that's kind of depressing because X-Men is what Marvel always wanted to get back. Want to get back all their heroes back, and X-Men was is one of the crown jewels of the Marvel universe. and their comic books and everything are, well known by fans and geeks alike like me. You definitely want to go back, but it seemed like they kind of was embarrassed by it. Not to give anything away in the story, but Mystique, I didn't really like her in this movie. I felt like they had, whoever wrote her had an agenda somewhere. I don't know. They just felt like they turned the story of the X-Men upside down with her and everything. So I didn't really like Mystique in this one, which I really liked Mystique in all the other ones, especially Apocalypse. I think Jennifer Lawrence does a great performance in that movie. This one, not so much. Felt like she wanted to get out. Felt like she didn't want to be there, and it showed up in the character arc, I thought. Sophie Turner is, of course, Jennifer Grey in this, and this storyline has been done before in the Last Stand, X-Men Last Stand, and I may be the only person that liked the Last Stand, I guess, but I did like the X-Men Last Stand movie, so I've seen this plot before. So I was kind of questioning why they wanted to go back to this. I know they have these young characters and they wanted to explore all the things that they did in the past with them, but I think they should have explored new stuff. That's one problem I see with a lot of the 20th Century Fox's movies, like with the Fantastic Four and with this one now. They seem to go over the same old ground, and we never really get to see anything new. I was very disappointed in that aspect of it. I still think that there was some good performance in it. James McAvoy always gives a good performance in a lot of movies I've seen him in. Michael Fassbender was good, really well done in Magneto in it. Had some good special effects toward the end of the movie. I thought it tried to save it with the third act, but I think the first two acts just really kind of sabotaged it from there on. Drew Drop didn't really care for it either. We thought it was not a horribly made movie. It was not a bad movie, but not a great movie by no stretch of the imagination. I gave it more like a 5. He gave it like a 5, and I gave it a 5.5. It's watchable. It's one of those movies like you just scratch your head and say, why? Why even do this movie? Especially, I mean, at the time they didn't know Disney was taking them over, but I just felt like this should have been shelved. Should have been maybe put on Hulu or something, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to use any of the actors from this one. I'd be shocked if they did use any of them, even though they are very good actors in it. I was disappointed in the use of the guy that goes real fast. I can't think of his name. The one that's supposed to be Magneto's kid. But anyway, they didn't use him very well in it. Storm was okay. Just a lot of okays. Storyline was very, very bland. I always tell Andrew, you got to have a good villain in these types of movies. The villain was laughable, I thought. I thought villains were laughable, and the what happens to make the villains come to Earth is laughable. I think that was just like, oh gosh, we need a villain. We need to have a reason why this is going on, and boom, they create this race or whatever villain. And I thought it was poorly done. Jessica Chastain is a very fine actress, and I just think they gave her nothing to work with. They kind of did her like Captain Marvel, gave her no personality, and there's a reason for some of that in this movie. I know I've seen a lot of that lately. It's like, it just didn't impress me. It didn't impress me at all. The whole movie didn't impress me. With all these great, fine actors, and you can't make a compelling X-Men movie. X-Men, when Disney gets a hold of this, Marvel gets a hold of this, I think we're going to see better characterizations of the X-Men, and make them more, from this movie, make them more, a better creation. Like I said, I've had liked the other ones in the past, but I just can't recommend this movie for you to go out and watch it. If you want to go out and watch this, and you're a really diehard X-Men fan, I can understand you going out to see it, maybe paying full price, but I would go if absolutely just wait for the video release. I don't think you'd be disappointed, even though I do recommend seeing anything on the big screen. Try to see a matinee if you can, if you're interested in it at all. Like I said, wasn't great. Was just kind of there. Could have been shelved, and nobody would have known the difference. That's my take on it. If you watch the movie and you have a different take on it, please leave a comment down there. Just because I didn't like it, or Drew Drop didn't like it, or didn't love it, I guess. We didn't hate it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't like it. I recommend you telling me why you liked it, or why you liked it or disliked it, or whatever. I suppose the comments are there, and I will not put you down on any, if you disagree with me. I just wanted to get this review out there. It's kind of late, but we got it out there anyway. And tell me what you think. And I always remember the Badraven is your friend, and come back for more great reviews. We're going to let you go, and we're going to talk at you later, and goodbye.